hair remembers the seasons that we have lived through in this lifetime. What we've experienced, what we've held, and even what we've released. I feel like this one is a love tribute to all my hairdresser girlies. Strap in because you're going to love it. Welcome to Monday Movements. We're going to be talking about the psychosomatics behind hair. We're going to start with the 3 key links related to or associated with any issues that presents in our hair. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah. So 3 key links that are associated. Number 1, identity and visibility. Of course, our lion's mane has something to do with our identity and our visibility. Key link number 2, attachment and control. And key link number 3, a little more elusive, future versus foundation. But I'm going to break that down so that makes more sense for you. Starting with key link number 1, identity and visibility. Because our hair is a living symbol of how I let myself be seen. Of course, it's to do with identity. Changes in style, color, length can mirror those inner shifts or a desire for inner transmutation or reinvention. I even posted a reel a couple months back on how I use color therapy as a representation of the errors that I'm going through over my life. Especially, it's become kind of more of a fundamental conscious thing that I do. So this can be a very positive experience when the changes in our hair are something we're choosing to do. It's like an aspect of manifesting or a spell that we're working with in co-creation with our hairdressers. And even if we notice changes in our hair for the better, this can also reflect positivity and that we're on the right path based on what the body is communicating to us. However, when we have adverse effects or disharmony in the body to do with hair, such as hair loss, hair graying early, dryness of the scalp and flaking, or weak strands that are breaking a little easier, this can be a sign from the body to reflect on our fear of either visibility or how we are being seen, how we are being perceived. And this is why it comes down to identity and visibility. And how we are seen by others can often be the back burner, the fuel to the fire that drives us to overachieve, to overstrive in aspects of our identity and the way we're being perceived, often aesthetic. And so this is really where that key link number 2 comes in, that attachment of control, particularly when it comes to our aesthetics or how we're presenting. Leo risings, this is you. I'm not an astrologer, but I do know this for a fact about Leo risings, or even Leo suns, obsessed about how people are perceiving them. And so we tend to attach ourselves to control, that element of control, because this is the only way of ensuring that people perceive us a certain way. If we can control our aesthetics, if we can control the way that we're presenting ourselves, then we can control the way we're being seen. For example, my Chiron, my South Node and Chiron are linked to Leo. So this is actually very relevant to me as well. The fear of being seen is my one, for example. And so you have this attachment to control because it's the only way you can ensure you're being perceived the right way and that your identity remains kind of unscathed or unchanged in the ways that you don't want it to change. And this shows up with those real obsessive compulsive behaviors or the mentally obsessive behaviors around our aesthetics. Ladies, I know we have all experienced this on some level at some point in our life, particularly teenhood tends to happen, right? And even into our 20s and 30s, and it can go on forever. But this is where if things come up with the hair, we can really start to pay attention to this. And then coming into key link number 3, where it all really ties together, is future versus foundation. When we link that attachment of control for that like kind of sustained perception of our identity or how we're perceived by the world, we have future versus foundation. So we're so future focused on how the world's going to perceive us for the day, for the month, how this video I'm about to post may be perceived by you, for example. The future of that can seem daunting. Anxiety can set in for those of us who feel like we have that element of control around our aesthetics or our identity. The future can really feel overwhelming. And so it's learning how to ground, how to set the foundations so that our future doesn't seem as daunting. So this is where future versus foundation comes in. If we try to manipulate or persuade situations so that we can predict what will happen, this is us using the element of control so that we don't have to worry as much about what may happen in the future. This future is unpredictable. It always will be. You cannot change not knowing what the future will be. And yes, we can make changes that can nudge us towards where we think we want to go, where we think we might end up, but what is the underlying vibration of those choices? Is there an element of obsessive compulsive or mentally obsessive patterns coming up? Is it coming from that underlying fear vibration of like not knowing what's going to happen? Or is it coming from a place of internal love, self-worth? Setting that foundation with self-love is where I'm going here. So when it comes to that future focus, the roles we want to play in life, the things we're preparing for coming into, perhaps it's motherhood, perhaps it's a job role, something we're studying to become. When it comes to that future focus of identity or that change we want to make in our aesthetics, all those decisions that are future focused, it's useful to combat that fear of the unpredictable future there with stability and foundational support. And that starts with your internal support system, the self-love. Your beliefs and perceptions of yourself that support your self-identity in a healthy way. Those who know thyself on a foundational level to the core, amidst all the seasons of transformation, transmutation, amidst all the eras and phases of life. Those are the most grounded. We're going to go into a somatic practice, a somatic exercise for the hair next week in the next episode. But until then, I leave you with these 3 questions if there's something you want to start integrating. Called question number 1. Where am I over managing my image or aesthetics when I could be letting my authentic essence take the lead? Number 2, what feeling sits at my hairline when I tune into it? If I'm, prepping my hair for the day, what feeling comes with that hairline, with that hair? What emotion is attached to it today? Is it tenderness, love, security? Or is there an element of pressure and fear and control, or perhaps even superego coming in? And then number 3, if I let a new season or era or phase into my life, what am I ready to grow into and be open to receiving, and what is ready to be cut away, released? I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Psycho-Somatic Spa in Hair. I will see you next week if you want to further integrate this with the somatic practice.